Hi, I'm Kendra Bailey Morris, and welcome to the Heart of the Home. Today we're going to be making a very decadent pasta dish, I'm not going to lie. And it's going to be using fresh Virginia peas, which you can find in farmers markets across the state, usually around April and May, and you can buy them either shelled or, if you're lucky enough, some farmers markets will shell them for you. If for whatever reason you can't get a hold of the fresh ones, you can always use frozen for this dish, but I highly recommend the fresh ones because they're bigger and they're juicier and they have a lot more flavor. So what we're going to do is begin by making a type of Alfredo sauce, essentially, that's going to have gorgonzola cheese in it, a little bit of parmesan, and accented with the peas. And so I'm going to begin by adding about 1.5 cups of heavy cream. You could also use half and half if you wanted to. I'm just going to stir this around just a little bit, keep it moving. And what we're going to do with the heavy cream here is reduce it by about half. In the meantime, I'm going to mince up some garlic. I've got 2 small garlic cloves. You could certainly add more if you're a garlic person like I am. And I'm just going to loosely mince these up. So you can see my heavy cream is bubbling away. You want that. You have your heat on about medium-high or so. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and add my garlic into this. So it basically is flavoring the heavy cream. Stir this around just a bit. There we go. I would not substitute light cream or fat-free heavy cream or anything like that. With dishes like this, you just got to go there. Just go full fat or go home. It's a wonderful dish, and it's definitely something that if you tried to substitute a non-natural fat, I don't know how it exactly turn out when you're going to do this type of reduction on the stove top. A lot of times it tends to curdle and do weird things, so you don't want that to happen. Now what I have here is about 1 cup or so, 1.5 cups of 5 ounces to be exact, of gorgonzola cheese. And this is a gorgonzola dolce, which is a very creamy, very rich, very flavorful, pungent cheese. It's also quite salty, so you don't want to add any salt to this until you have tasted it with the cheese. And we're going to add some parmesan as well, and both of those have a tendency to be salty on their own. So you want to be careful with that. I'm going to add this in. And this is a really great melting cheese. You're going to see it. It's going to also thicken up the sauce really nicely. I've also got 1/2 cup of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. I'm going to add that in now. Like I said, this isn't a low-fat dish, so a little bit goes a long way. In the meantime, while this is going, this is about the time you would want to drop your pasta in boiling water. And I've gone ahead and already parboiled this to an al dente because this is going to be tossed into this pan, and so you don't want it to be too overcooked, or by the time it gets into your pan, it's going to fall apart. The beautiful part about pasta is having a little toothsome to it, a toothsome texture to it rather. And if you overcook it, you're going to definitely lose that. I'm adding a little bit of red pepper just because I like it. This is optional. It's just dried red pepper. I'm also going to be pretty generous here with the black pepper. I love black pepper, lots of it in Alfredo sauces. It just really balances out the heavy creaminess really, really nicely. And you can see now that my blue cheese is really starting to melt. Looks wonderful. And as it's melting, that heavy cream is starting to properly reduce. All right. Okay. And this is the time you would add in your peas. If you were happening to use frozen peas, you would obviously want to cook them a little bit longer. Fresh peas, really just like a minute or so. If that, you don't need much more time because you don't want them to get too mushy. You want them, again, to be a bit toothsome. And this is already looking really, really, really pretty. Okay, my cheese is melted, and now I'm going to add my pasta in. Because I like black pepper, I'm doing a little bit more. This is optional. And this is the easy part. This pasta is pretty much cooked all the way through. Like I said, I boiled it to a proper al dente. So it really doesn't need a whole lot more time than this. And you're just going to toss it around. Obviously, you need a large saute pan for this. And when you're ready to serve, you can obviously serve directly from here. Or what I like to do is go ahead and just put it right back in the bowl and serve it that way. There we go. Give this a little toss around. Obviously, if you like, you can add a little extra Parmesan cheese on top. You could certainly add some herbs into this, some fresh herbs, some freshly grown Virginia herbs. If you have some parsley on tap, or maybe just a little bit of oregano, sage, anything like that would be nice right about now. And there you have it, a pasta with peas and gorgonzola cheese and an Alfredo sauce. I'm Kendra Bailey Morris. Let's get cooking.
Recipes from the heart of the home can be found on the Virginia Farm Bureau website at vafarmbureau.org.